I'm
All
good,
well?
sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So let's wait other people join the meeting, then we'll start. We study about this app ID. We will study today content ID, where it is. User ID decryption thread prevention. Okay, this one. So very less join people today. Only 4, 5. Okay, people are joining. Hi, everyone. So let's start our session today. So as we discussed application ID yesterday, and we understand how the application can be identified by the firewall and how different action can be taken based on the application. And we also have done the live demo during our study, and we understand about the application group and application filtering also. So hope everyone understand that, right? So if all understand, then we start a new module, that is the content ID. That is again a great feature of this next generation firewall, where content can be inspected by the firewall, and based on the content, whatever the data you are doing the transfer, uploading, downloading, whatever the file you are exchanging, that all content can be real-time content can be inspected by the firewall, and various action can be taken. So in this content ID, let's understand what all we can understand. So see, let's just suppose you are downloading some file, and that file is like virus file. That is not good file. That file is associated with the virus. You are trying to upload some file on the internet, or download some file from the internet. That is the virus with virus file. So if you are not going to check that content, what inside of the file, that firewall probably going to allow, and that firewall can be downloaded on a PC or your server, and that can be harmful your network. So it might be destroy your network, might be your critical application can be become some kind of the error issue in real-time production environment. So by the help of the firewall, we can protect if any virus can be detected. Firewall itself having a feature, they can understand the virus signatures. They can analyze that signature, and various action can be taken based on the content, whatever you are trying to upload or download. Similarly, we having another feature, that is anti-spyware. So let's say suppose someone is trying to do some spy thing, like they want to do a spyness of your network by different of the, there is a lot of mechanism sitting outside of the internet or outside of the organization. They try to do a lot of malicious thing to enter your network and try to get some data informations. So that activity based on the signatures, we see real time in the firewall how it can be done. So that can be also understand by the firewalls based on the signature of the application, and that can be also can be multiple action can be taken, like alert can be generated that particular signature can be, or action can be blocked, and some kind of the alarm can be generated. So we can do a lot of things with that particular kind of this activity. Similarly, we're having the vulnerability. So let's say suppose someone is trying to send the vulnerable kind of the what can say uh, vulnerable information inside your network. So that can be also protected, and we having a very good lab for this also, where we can understand real time. I have a Kali Linux machine here installed in my internet domain somewhere, and I generate the real time vulnerability from here, and we can see how that vulnerability can be protected by the firewalls before going to attack to any of the server, like AD server, FTP server of this PC. So if someone is trying to do some vulnerability attack on your network, that can be also protected, and we'll see in demo. Okay. So that is about the vulnerability. Similarly, like we having the URL filtering. So suppose like we understand about the application, based on the application, we have taken some kind of actions. But what else, like based on the URLs, like suppose I want to block this www.facebook.com. So based on this URL, I can go and create some URL category. I can match this URL. I can block particular website also based on the URL. So if someone is going to try to log into Facebook, that can be blocked automatically. That can also block by the application. But in application, we having granular feature, like we can block. We fully cannot block the Facebook. We can block the fully Facebook, but if you want to partially block the Facebook, we can do that also. If we want to block the chat, if you want to block the video, we can do that. But if you do with the URL filtering, that your Facebook page will be fully blocked. Even you're not able to block the chat and video. Okay. If you're having a requirement. So we'll see that real time lab. Similarly, we're having a data filtering. So in data filtering, like let's say suppose I have a confidential data in my organization and someone is trying to upload on the internet. So we can develop some mechanism, and firewall is so much intelligence. Even let's say suppose you having some PDF file or Word file or any email which is sent by your organization, and it's clearly written as it's a very confidential, and you are trying to upload on the internet. So if you create some kind of data filtering on your firewall, that file cannot be go outside the internet, and that alarm can be generated, the alert can be generated, and that action can be blocked, and you will be easily identify you are trying to send some confidential information to the internet. So you're having a different filtering type, like based on the data pattern, based on the content, and based on the regular expression. So we'll see in a lab later. No worry for that. In addition of that, like we having a DOS protection. So that is again a very critical feature of the next generation firewall, that is a Palo Alto. So if someone is trying to attack by the help of the DOS protection on your network, so that can be also protected by your firewall, and that can be blocked itself from the firewall whenever DOS attack is going to happen. Similarly, we can do the file blocking, like if you want to block some PDF file, text file, upload, download, that you can do that. And the wildfire, that is nothing. That is something we can say that like Palo Alto itself having the centralized database where you can send your log, you can submit your all kind of the network behavior, whatever the traffic keep going on network, and that can be analyzed by the wildfire, and they will be like send the report to you what action have to taken. So basically, it's just to follow the zero trust, factors where all information can be inspected and they can be provided to report to you. And further, based on that report recommendation, you can take a various action based on your network requirements. So we'll understand. So we'll try to cover these all today. Let's see what we can cover. If not, we can continue by tomorrow. So okay, so Sahnawaz, ठीक है. तो हम अभी लैब करेंगे, so we'll understand in Hindi and English both. No worry for that. So let me go on the firewall. So I'll try to do some kind of the lab. I'll try to show from this my local machine where I will try to showcase some log, but most of the things I will do from our centralized lab. That is this one. So the first thing what I'm going to demonstrate from this machine, let me just log into the firewall. So this is my firewall. So the first thing we'll understand why this. So how basically we can figure out the content ID where it is. So we have to go in the objects, and if you go in the objects, we having a different, you can see that antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability protection, URL filtering, file blocking, wildfire analysis, data filtering, and DOS protection. These are the all security profile we have. And that security profile, if you click like antivirus, so you can see there is a one default security profile already available on it in the firewall that can be simply apply to the any of the rule, whatever the rule you want to apply, that can be applied. But अगर आपको खुद से बनाना है तो you can also go and create here. So अभी आप नीचे देख रहे हो कि यहाँ पे एक that is giving some kind of the remark, threat prevention license required for the antivirus, anti-spyware and vulnerability protection through a function. So it is saying like you don't have valid license, so probably it will not work, but it will work for many of the cases. If some case not work, we'll try to check with this lab. Okay, this one. So it will work for this lab. Almost all the things will work. Only we will not able to see the real-time logs in here in monitor section. Rest things we can do here, but we can see the same thing in the session browser. So no worry. So I'll go in the object. So let's say suppose this is my antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability, URL filtering, file blocking, and these all kind of the stuff I can create here. So how can and where can be applied? So मेरे को policy में जाना पड़ेगा. And once I go in the policy, so आप ये देखो, we having a different like you can see I have a LAN zone, I have a trust zone, and they are going to untrust in internet. So let's say suppose I'm sitting in LAN zone, I want to go in the internet. I want to download some file, that is the virus file. So once I try to download some virus file, the firewall, if I configure the antivirus profile against the policy that is a LAN to the untrust, so that might be this policy LAN to internet. You can see that. So if LAN to internet. So if I go and I can download any kind of the file, probably I'll be able to download and I'll not getting any kind of error. So that virus file can be downloaded in this PC. So let me just quickly go there and let me just try to check my internet is working or not. So if I'm checking Google.in, so internet is working. So let me check virus file. Let me try to download some virus file. So this could be the let's wait to open. Once it will open, then so it is saying like we private connection cannot be because computer and time that it is giving some kind of error.
So computer time is, I think it's 1:43 p.m.
Let me just change the adjust the timings. What is set it?
1914.
Seven, okay. Right, almost same, right? Let me check it again. It's not working. Let me open in some other browser. Or what I can do, I can try to log in. Let me see. File download. Let me try with. Okay. So probably you can see that this file is, this is the file, this is the virus file. So if I click on download, so you see, I'm able to see this file. It is able to read. But suppose if we're having this antivirus feature available in the firewall, this is supposed to be not download. So let me just click back again here and let's play with our, real-time things. So how basically that profile can be applied, that I was trying to say. So if something is going from the LAN to internet, so I have to click on that. And we having a different like source, we guys know that, destination, you guys know that, application, you understand that, service, you understand that, action. So in action, you can see we having a profile setting here. In this profile setting, you having a profiles here. You can group that multiple, you can group the profiles in one if you're having multiple profiles, or you can just simply click on profiles. And here, once you click the profiles, all the field can be populated and you can apply whatever you want to apply. So you can see that if I want to apply the default one, which is by default available in the firewall, that can be applied. So we are not going to apply this default one. We are going to create one our own profile, and then we'll apply and then we'll test whether it's working or not. So from here, from policy, we can apply. So if we're having a multiple policy, you can manually, whenever you create the policy, you have to attach the required, the vulnerability protection, antivirus, data filtering, URL filtering, whatever you want to do, you have to apply during the creation of the policy. So you should know how to basically do that. So let me go in the object again, and I'll try to get one antivirus custom policy that was showing. So let me just create the lab AV antivirus. This is my profile, and I put as a antivirus as a description. Now you can see that we having a different kind of the signatures here. And default action, it is saying like if something is protocol SMTP, that should be the alert. These are the default application it is showing here. But if you want, you can just change this action. So I want to drop this signature action drop. I want to drop. So you can allow, you can alert, you can drop, you can reset, whatever you want to do that, you can do that. So let me just drop all kind of the antivirus. So I just drop all type of the antivirus, like if someone is in the FTP and there is antivirus, like virus, then can be dropped. And in addition of that, if we want to allow some particular kind of the antivirus, you want to give the exception. Like suppose these are the, like suppose someone is doing the FTP, and by default here everything is dropped. But if you want to do the exception, you know that the particular CV ID or threat ID, we having one thing that is called a threat vault. So you threat vault. So probably it will ask the username and password. I don't have right now. So probably from where we can get all the signatures and that particular CB ID, and we can add that particular thread can be exempted, not be blocked. That could be allowed. If you want to do the forcefully, that can be done. And if you want to give the any application exception, you can do from here. Suppose you still that application having a virus, but you want to give the exception, you can do that also. So we having like a feature, we can do multiple things, but here I'm just trying to drop all kind of the virus files, whatever the coming from the internet. And by default signature action would be, if signature is matched, it is going to be dropped. And if you want to send the wildfire signature, that can be, check and like take action by the wildfire, like the Palo Alto database, that can be also, you can set here the same things. So here I click OK. So this is the what I created, the custom one, but this is the default one. If you want to, if you will click on this default one, you will not able to change any value. They are the predefined value and it cannot be changed. So if you want to use the default one, then whatever the value is predefined given here, that can be only used, but you can always use the custom one what you have created. So let me just, I have created this profile here. Let me go on this policy. And if I go in the policy, I can go on this PC. This was the PC. Yeah. 170. So let me just go on this LAN to internet profile. And I can go in the action and I'll click on the profile. And here I'll just click on the, see here, my lab antivirus profile, it just starts showing. So here I just put it, rest I put none because I'm not going to use them. And I'll click OK. So once I'll click OK, you can see here some kind of the figure starts showing on this policy. So this is this particular identification for the antivirus. So it's showing the antivirus profile has been applied against this policy. Earlier it was none. So I'll just commit it. So post commit will try to check whether this file is still able to download or not. This one, this is the virus file. So we'll try to check again. So just wait. Meanwhile, so let me see, it's almost done and it's successfully completed. So before doing anything, let me just clear the hit counts against this rule. And also let me go in the monitor and session browser. So we can try to see some logs. So let me just try to again, download this file and we'll see that. So it is opening still, might be the old session. Let me just refresh this page. Let me just copy front browser, close it. Let me click it. Still opening. Why it is opening? Should not. LAN to internet. LAN to untrust. Google Analytics. Okay, just load one. Close this browser. Let me go on this different browser. See, you guys can see. So there was an old session that was the keep happening, but when I clear that session and open in new browser, it's showing virus spyware download blocked. Do you guys agree? So this is how we can block this, antivirus file being downloaded somewhere, and that policy can be applied. Let me just open some other virus website. So HTTP. Let me open like one website. What in now? 16 CR. Let me see if it is opening. This is not opening. Let me try some other. HTTP. www. I see. So let me try to download this file. So probably this file got downloaded. Might be this secure one. Only right now we cannot download that file which is not secure one. Like there's two kind of the file. One is the encrypted, one is the plain text. So that file what I was trying earlier, that is a plain text file. You can see that can be blocked. But if something is encrypted or like HTTPS, that basically cannot be downloaded because we are not doing the SSL decryption in our policy. So that can be test when SSL decryption has been enabled. So this file you can see are getting downloaded. But when I try with this plain text file, it is getting blocked. So this site is not EI. Let me just try with this one also. EICAR. Check what. Oh, I'm getting error again on this. Let me open this in this browser. Never mind. I'm not able to open this file, but the concept will remain same. And whenever you having a valid antivirus profile attached against the policy, that is going to be come in picture whenever you are going to perform certain action against the virus file download or upload. So this is how that can be uploaded and downloaded. Next thing, let me just close it. Next thing about the vulnerability, we'll discuss anti-spyware later. So about the vulnerability. So vulnerability, like as I mentioned, if someone is sitting in the outside and they want to do some vulnerable things, they want to send the vulnerable file to your inside the network, you can protect them from the firewall perspective. So here, how it can be applied and how it can be tested. So this is a real time. I have a Kali Linux machine where I can generate the vulnerability, live vulnerability, and that live attack can be seen in the firewall. That is going to be any of the machine or that FTP server. So let me show you that demonstration. So to achieve this, I have to go again in the object, and I have to go in the vulnerability protection. Here you can see that we having a two vulnerability protection by default. We have the strict and default one. You can use it or you can create a custom one. So if you're going to use that cannot be modified again, similar like the antivirus, and default also cannot be modified. But here we are going to use our custom one. So I'll just use the lab vulnerability protection, that's the VP. And I can just put the rule name vulnerability pro. So you can define threat name any, like any threat. You can define action, what action you are going to take. So I just want to allow alert, reset client side, reset server side, reset both, block IP. This much action you can take. So here I'm going to take a drop. Host type, any client server or any. So here I'm going to take any. Packet capture, I'm not going to take a packet capture. Category, you can take category, like we having this much category for the vulnerability category, like brute force, code executions, and DOS, phishing, scan. So I'm just selecting any one of this category. And severity you can set, like all severity you can set, only critical you want to set. So here I just set the all. And if we having a particular CV ID that you want to, or vendor ID, if you want to add, if you know that, that also can be done. So that signature can be matched and action can be taken out. So we don't have signature and vendor ID for here. So we are just going to take action all time with the vulnerability, whatever going to come from the internet to our network. So I just click OK. Here also we having exception. So if you want to exempt any kind of the exceptions, you can go and check the signatures and see all the signatures here. Vulnerability signature are showing here. See, here is the ID. You can see the ID. So if you want to exempt any of the ID, you just click that ID and you just click OK. That can be exempted from the list and that cannot be blocked. So that can be also done. So I'm not going to do here anything. So I'll just click OK. And I just created this rule. I click OK. So my lab VP has been created. And inside of this lab, vulnerability protection, I created the rule name. That is the vulnerability protection, any type of the threat, any type of CAB, host type of the any, severity any, that action going to be dropped. So this is done. Next, I have to go in the this topology. So see, this machine is sitting in the internet from the untrust zone, and it is trying to send the vulnerability information to the LAN zone, one of the my machine. That could be this machine, my FTP server. So if he is trying to send the vulnerability information to that machine or this machine, the firewall should be protected. So how my policy, how that my vulnerability protection can be applied in this scenario. So I have to go. शहनवाज यार बताना अगर नहीं समझ में कुछ आया तो, मैं इंग्लिश में बोले जा रहा हूँ कब से, कुछ अगर समझ में नहीं आया तो मुझे बताना आप. सो अगर आप देखो तो यहाँ से अनट्रस्ट टू लैन हमारे पास एक पॉलिसी बनी हुई है. ठीक है, इसमें हमारा कोई भी सोर्स अनट्रस्ट से आ रहा है, अगर लैन जोन एक्सेस कर रहा है, सो आई कैन गो देयर and I can go and services action and I can go in the profile. In profile, here's a vulnerability protection. I can go and apply this lab VP and then click OK. So you can see one sign has been created here. Let me just reset it and let me just commit it. So my policy has been applied. Now, let me go on the topology again. Let me open this Linux machine. And password is root. I have written, guys, the username and password here, root and root. So you can guys refer it if you want to test it. Let me try to ping that machine. Is it reachable or not? 172.16.10.11. 172.16.10.11. So it is reachable. That's good. This material is reachable from the internet. So we'll try to generate the live vulnerability from there. And we'll see how firewall is going to protect. So this has been. And you guys see how many packets is going to be sent on this particular, rule. Right now it's very minimum, only 5. Let me reset it again. And we having a command. Let me see if having a command already. Yeah, we having this script. Like if I want to make the vulnerability like nmap. Nmap, this is the one of the vulnerability script. So this is my machine on which I just want to send the vulnerability file from the internet on Kali Linux machine and this machine, this FTP server. So once the vulnerability attack is initiated from this machine and go to the firewall, and once this firewall policy is matched from untrust to LAN zone, if anything is coming vulnerable, then it's going to be block it because we set a drop in our profile. So let's see that. So we'll see live. So let me just go and you guys can write this command nmap -v -- script vulnerability and the destination address that can be generate the vulnerabilities. Let me just hit enter. So you guys can see my live attack has been started from the internet to the machine. And let's see what is happening on the firewall. So let's see how many hit counts. It could be more than 1,000. See, 884. It keep increasing. And meanwhile, let me see the monitor tabs. Here, a lot of packet will see from coming from the internet to that zone and keep dropping. So see, still it is going on. My attack is going on. And you guys can see that. See, this is my source and this is my destination. Here you can see this is my machine IP 10.13.13.101 and this is the destination for which we having a lot of packet here keep coming. If you open any of the packet, let's say this one. So you can see policy deny. Why? Because we having like we having a rule where that is protected by the antivirus. So that's why it is getting denied. So untrust to LAN, that is our zone, it is coming. And lot of ports, they are not able to understand. Some ports they are able to understand. And in policies, if you see that again, it is still running. Attack is still running. And if I've done this one, and if you see the hit counts, it almost 3,000 packets already has been passed through the security rule. But after this attack, still we are able to protect our network. So anyone have any question on it, or is it clear to everyone about this vulnerability protection? How can we apply? How can we create it? Right? So next thing, like after vulnerability protection, these are the small things, but we should know. That is the URL filtering or data filtering. Let's understand URL filtering. So again, I have to go in somewhere in the object. And I have to go in this like URL filtering. So before you are going to click and add some kind of a custom, you can see that we having a already default one where we having a different URL category. You can see that the adult, alcohol, auction, abuse drugs, business, legal, low risk. So we having a different URL category. And if let's say suppose you want to take action against any of the URL, you can take it, but here we are not getting option to allow or block because this is the default one. But if you are going to create some kind of the custom URL, so let's say suppose lab URL, if I want to create that, and let's say suppose I just want to block some adult site, so I can just click here, I can block it. So if I want to block the version, I can block it. So this can be blocked. Social media, let me just check. Social media, so social networking, I want to block, so I can block it. So that is a one way I can create and block it. So let me just go on this PC. See, my attack has been completed. So let me just go on this PC and try to open facebook.com before blocking the socialmedia.com. facebook.com. So अभी ये ब्लॉक अभी ओपन हो जाएगा, आई थिंक ये ओपन हो रहा है, राइट? सो अगर मैं दोबारा जाता हूँ एंड मैंने ये कस्टम यूआरएल कैटेगरी बनाया है, इसमें ब्लॉक 3 कैटेगरी मैंने किया है, और इन 3 कैटेगरी में व्हाट आई हैव डन कि मेरा एक सोशल वो भी है, क्या बोलते हैं, सोशल मीडिया भी है. सो इसमें हमें कुछ नहीं करना है, ठीक है? तो कहाँ गया सोशल मीडिया? ओके, सो इट्स ब्लॉक. सो सिंपली मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल गो इन द अगेन इन द सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसी, एंड सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसी में जाने के बाद लैन टू इंटरनेट जो मेरा पॉलिसी बना हुआ है, आई विल गो देयर एंड आई क्लिक हियर. एक्शन 2 ऑलरेडी हमें लगा चुके हैं, एक लगाया है एंटीवायरस, वल्नरेबिलिटी प्रोटेक्शन नहीं लगाया है, सो यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग में जाके लगा दूंगा एक और. सो आई विल पुट देयर, and after you can see here some signage again arrive and commit. So let's wait. Probably I'm expecting once commit will done. And
so what
yeah, yes.
sir,
Tell me.
what are the dependencies of this practical?
What are the dependency?
Of this practical. अगर इस practical को perform करना है तो पहले से हमें क्या-क्या practical ready करके रखना होगा?
सना समझा नहीं, दोबारा बोलो, आवाज थोड़ी कट रही है आपकी.
सर अगर मुझे इस प्रैक्टिकल को करना है तो ऑलरेडी मुझे क्या-क्या प्रैक्टिकल परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा?
इस प्रैक्टिकल को करना आपको, तो प्रैक्टिकल करना है तो पहले तो कॉन्सेप्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए जो मैंने बताया, ठीक है? कॉन्सेप्ट पता होने के बाद आपको ये ऑब्जेक्ट में जाकर आपको प्रोफाइल बनाने आना चाहिए. उस प्रोफाइल को आपको रूल में अप्लाई करना चाहिए. आप किस सोर्स से किस डेस्टिनेशन पे जा रहे हो उसके, सपोज करो कि आप
नहीं सपोज राउटिंग जोन वगैरह ये सारी चीज क्या मतलब ऑलरेडी मतलब बना होना चाहिए, क्योंकि एक टोपोलॉजी में कुछ भी नहीं बना होता है.
हाँ, ये इसमें मैं पहले बताया कि इस पे हमारा क्या है कि ये इंटरफेस ऑलरेडी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड है, ठीक है? ये इंटरफेस ऑलरेडी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड है, राइट? ये इंटरफेस ऑलरेडी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड है, और इस पर्टिकुलर जोन से इंटरनेट का एक्सेस है ऑलरेडी हमारा. आपका प्रीरिक्विजिट ये होना चाहिए, इंटरनेट ऑलरेडी आपका चलना चाहिए पीसी से, तभी आप कर सकते हो लैब को. तो आई थिंक हम इतना तो जानते ही हैं कि हम राउटिंग कैसे इनेबल करते हैं, हम इंटरनेट कैसे, नेटिंग कैसे करते हैं, राइट? हमने पढ़ लिया, राइट? सो यहाँ पे मैंने नेट कर रखा है इस सोर्स को, डेस्टिनेशन पे जाने के लिए हमने नेट कर दिया है. नेट करने के बाद चला गया, यहाँ पे एक डिफॉल्ट राउट है पॉइंटिंग टुवर्ड द इंटरनेट. तो सारी चीजें मैंने कर रखी है, लैब में आप लोग चेक कर लेना, खोलकर आपको दिख जाएगा सारा कुछ, ठीक है?
ओके मतलब सर वो सारे प्रैक्टिकल करने के बाद हम ये परफॉर्म करेंगे?
हाँ, ये आपको होना चाहिए पहले से, प्रीरिक्विजिट है आपका, इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी तो होना चाहिए, तभी आप कर सकते
वही पूछ रहा था सर. ओके
ठीक है? तो देखो अभी ये हो गया. अब मैं दोबारा जाता हूँ इस पीसी पे और आई ट्राई टू ओपन फेसबुक, देखते हैं अभी चलता है क्या होता है. Let me just close this browser and just open it again. चल रहा है अभी भी. Let me open this another browser. Facebook. और अभी भी यहाँ भी बट हमने सोशल नेटवर्किंग को ही ब्लॉक किया, राइट? ना तो नहीं चाहिए. Let me try to open an incognito output. So still it's working. But हमने ब्लॉक किया है URL फिल्टर में. Let me just check it. हम हैं अभी Demo user 110 पे हैं. ओके, इससे इंटरेस्ट पे जा रहा है. ये प्रोफाइल है हमारी. और URL फिल्टरिंग है हमारी. URL फिल्टरिंग में ये हमारे पास रूल है. इस रूल के अंदर ब्लॉक कैटेगरी में हमारा सोशल है. एक्सेस साइट ब्लॉक, सोशल नेटवर्किंग. Okay, let me do one thing. There is another way. I'll try to just we can define the URL category here. Okay, and we'll check from here if it is not taking. So I can just Facebook block. There is another way. If you want to just block any custom URLs, you can do from here. Might be this due to license firewall, this is not getting blocked. But let me just try to www.face.com. So, okay. Let me just, okay. And let me just go in the URL category again. So this is my custom URL. So let me just click it. So now allow category facing Java direction. Okay. So let me just refresh it. So here I have to set the action, that is the block. That is the block. So if someone is going to try to access the Facebook, that should be blocked. Let me try it again. So basically, if you having some kind of custom URL, if you don't, that is not matching in somewhere, whatever the available in this category, all the URL category, a URL filtering, you can just create what I've created. So let's say suppose you want to just block social media, like all sites, you can go there, you can make a name in social media and you can add like facebook.com, and twitter.com, that all could be blocked. And you have to just attach to that URL filtering profile. So let me go to again this machine. Let me try. And let me try www.facebook.com. Still working. Okay, just hold on, no problem. Let me just check on this firewall. Should not work. See, it is not working now. It is not working now in incognito mode. Let me just open the browser again. So expected behavior is should not work. So this browser is working, but let me just, how can I clear the history? History. Clear browsing history. Okay. Let me check from this browser again. I just clear the history and let me see if www.facebook.com. See, now it's blocked. So earlier it was opening because due to some cache was installed in the HTTP header cookies and it was keep redirecting to that. So now it is not opening because we just block it from the firewall perspective. So that comes under this category and now it's blocking. And there's two things I have done. One is the social media category and one is the specific that particular URL. So let's verify where it is getting blocked. So let me go in the session browser. So you can see Facebook base, this one. Let me just refresh it again. So you can see that thread discard, it has been discarded. Okay, so see that this is blocked by the our custom URL category which we created, not the social media. You can see here. So what I created the custom one that is blocking this particular facebook.com not going to open. So you can see URL category it is matching here, and that is end region it is showing that is a thread. The state is discard. This packet is not going to be through. Whenever Facebook base is getting, that application not matching the URL category, and based on the URL category, it is blocking on LAN trust to internet, whatever the traffic is going on. So this is how we can block this based on the URL category to something, whatever we want from this particular PC to the internet. Is it clear, everyone?
Sir,
yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, according to the you can say profile or policy, social networking sites are blocked, right?
Yeah, right.
So we can block any social networking sites, right?
Yeah, definitely we can block any social networking site. That's I tried to block, but it was not getting blocked somehow. So I just created the custom one and it was getting blocked with the custom one.
Okay.
Okay. So might be due to the some license feature and all, because I see, you can see I just created here and I just selected the social networking category. So it should be blocked, but it was not blocking. See, this social networking is all blocked.
Okay.
Okay, let me just select this again. Check this. It already selected, no need to select. So basically it is not blocking with the social networking site, but when I create the custom one and where I match that the facebook.com. So let's say suppose, let me check my YouTube is working or not. So let me just check. Any site you can just block youtube.com. Let's see. See, my YouTube page is opening here. You can see that.
Right, sir.
And if I want to go and add this in same in the Facebook URL category, let me just go there and add www.youtube.com also. Right? Is it correct? youtube.com. Yeah.
Right, sir.
And I click OK. So it will automatically get populated here because that URL filtering is already called. So probably we can see, let me just refresh. It is not coming. So let me just go and add this. Okay. Facebook block. It is already inside of this application. No worry. So let me just commit it. It's considering the single application, a single URL category. And let me just close this browser or clear the cookies and all and try to open it. Let's see that. So I'll go there, I'll go in history, I'll click on it. I'll clear the browsing data and clear data. I'll close this browser, I'll just restart. Let's see. So almost is done. So let me just type www.u.com. See, this has been blocked now. You can see that. So this is how we can block it. And if you go and check here that YouTube, you'll probably find the reason why it is blocked. So YouTube base, you can see here, if you just make it, you just expand it, you'll just see that that is blocked under the Facebook block where I just added the youtube.com, and that's type of the thread, and that is the policy what it is hitting, that is the LAN to internet. So this is we can block it from that particular site to going to the internet.
Sir, is that possible? If we want to allow only 2 websites, if I want to allow, yeah,
we can allow it. We can allow it.
Means I want to add only, or you can say I want to allow only 2 websites, Facebook and YouTube, and rather than if I talk about internet, then it will be blocked if I apply that particular policy.
See, you just have to do one thing. You just have to go in object and URL filtering. This is the URL category, right? And you want to allow the Facebook and YouTube, right? So just
right, sir. Only 2 websites.
Allow, because in Facebook block, YouTube is also here, right?
Right.
Say allow, we just get it. And rest, you just block each and everything. Okay, just you have to select and block each and everything. That will be block. All the application, based on the application, if you want to, based on the URL category, if you want to block, then you have to just manually click all and block them one by one. So all can be blocked. You understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the
but when I blocked social networking, I think it didn't block facebook.com, right? Earlier
it was not blocked due to some reason. Probably you can check with the license one firewall, but in real scenario, definitely it was going to block.
I have license VM, so okay, I will check that in my VM.
You check it.
Okay.
I will check. I have also this license one. Let me just check it for you. No
so this one is license one, but it cannot work properly, because if you want to upgrade the particular software, but
at least we can check this one, no? What we are trying to discuss. Okay. Okay. So let me just create one. Let me just create URL filtering. Let me just add one. And social networking block, right? So I'll just click this one, block. Make sense? And okay, this file has been created. Now let me, where is my lab? This one. Let me go on this PC. See, this is internet of 4. Okay, no worry. Tomorrow also I have to restart this lab again. It is throwing some error. So I have to restart it. Then it is going to work. Anyways, not okay. So no worry. You check. You also check it. I'll try to show you. Okay. If still you having query, the concept will remain same. Concept will not going to be changed. It will be remain same. You try
Okay.
to do your license for firewall. If you found any difficulty, let me know. I'll try to help out.
Okay, one more thing, sir, I want to ask. If we can say there are some people who want to access internet, right? So we can give them any ID or password, something kind of thing, or we can give them any captive portal ID or password. Is that any any concept in Palo Alto?
So for accessing the internet,
Yeah.
basically, like suppose you're having a laptop, right?
Yeah. Right.
And that laptop, you having a username, password for the AD credential to log into the laptop, right? Once you log into the laptop, that laptop should be connected to the LAN cable, right? Your company network, makes sense, or Wi-Fi network,
Right, sir.
and that further connected to the your internet or whatever, like this way. This is connected like this way. So if your IP is allowed to access the internet, so I don't think username password will be required to access the internet.
Okay, so we can.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Actually, we can allow that particular IP or MAC address, right?
Yeah, so basically source address you have to allow to the access to destination. What we have done in our this scenario, you can see here, like we created the policy, and in this policy we allow the internet for this subnet. You can see that. So if you want to block some IP, you can just not allow the range, but you want to allow, you can just allow the subnet or IP to access the internet. No username and password would be required here. There is another concept that is based on the AD that we call the user ID. Okay, we'll going to study in next lecture this concept. Let me tell you. Probably you are asking that is matching in this concept. So in this concept also, suppose based on the username and password you want to allow or block the internet, you can do that. So we'll cover this part.
So I can say there are two or three methods that we can provide to users for internet purpose, right?
Yeah, definitely based on the user ID,
Captive portal and all.
yeah, AD credentials, whatever you're having,
Okay.
we can do that. So if you see in this lab itself, I have just created username and password, and this is my AD server. So if this user, lab user, PC want to access the internet, I want to block this lab user, I can block it, I can allow it. I can play this with this way also. That's why I created this lab. So we'll cover in next upcoming session. Okay.
Done, sir.
So we'll see how it can be blocked. So the next thing we understand about, let me just go in this. We understand about this URL. Let's understand about file blocking. Okay. So file blocking is something. Let's say suppose I'm sitting in my organization. I'm trying to download some PDF file, but my organization don't want to allow someone can download the PDF file from the internet or upload the PDF file from the internet to the internet. That can be blocked. So you can see that these are the default rule available somewhere in this Palo Alto Firewall, and this blocking cannot be edited. But if you want to create a custom one, you can create it and you can apply against the policy, and then action can be triggered. So let me just create one of the file blocking type for our demonstration here to add one of rule. So let me just PDF block. So I'll just want to block the PDF if someone is trying to download. So I'll just add the name, PDF, application type any, file type. So here any, direction both. Let me check. Here I'll just use the PDF. So there's two types of PDF. One is the encrypted, one is the plain text. So I'll just try to block the plain text only, not the encrypted one. So you can see my name. Let me just put PDF. So this is my name. Any application, or let me say what application we having, any application PDF. No, so any application, like it's not necessary to like, but the file type should be PDF. you are going to access any application, if the file type is a PDF, direction could be upload, download, or both. So if you want to block in upload, that can be also download, that can be also both, then you can select the both. What action you want to take? You want to block and continue. So let's understand one by one. So alert, simply it will give the alert. Block is going to be blocked. We'll understand the continue after the block. I'll tell you what that means. So let's click on the block. So I'll click on the block. That's all. So let me just go on this PC and just try to. And there is some file. Let me just try to open pan.edu. This is the panfiles.com. Let me see if this is opening and I will download. So these are the PDF files. So let me try to download. So probably see if this file is getting start downloading. So meanwhile it is downloading. Let me just go and this is my PC. And where I can go on this security policy and LAN to internet. I can click on this. I can go in XN and this is my file blocking. And this is PDF block. I'll click OK. See, it is downloading, but it is taking time. So let's first download it, then we will test. Meanwhile, let me see if I commit. Commit will also take some time. So I'll commit this change. Size is big, so it is very slow to download, but it will definitely download. But once commit will happen and we'll try to download, we'll probably get some error. So let me just open in some incognito mode. I'm trying to. Something weird. Never mind. So this is a PDF file. We'll try with this one. So this is almost getting download. But let me meanwhile click on this one and let's see what is happening. See, the file transfer has been blocked. So we understand that this file has been blocked by the firewall after the policy, and earlier was keeping, keep going download because the session was initiated earlier. So if we want to see the logs, sorry guys, I was speaking on mute. Sorry for that. So you guys can see that the file has been blocked here. Here the file has been blocked once I created on the PDF. And Probably we'll see something on the internet. No logs. Never mind. So our file has been blocked. Let me just try to open some other PDF file. Do we have another PDF? Okay, this one also. So this one also getting blocked. Now, let me just do one thing. I was talking with the another feature, that is the continue. So let me just go in the object. And if I go here, if I instead of the block, I'll click on the continue. So let's see. If I click on the continue, so it is not going to block, but it will before opening the file, it will give one pop-up. Do you want to continue? If you click OK, then it is going to open. So that's we're going to see there. That means the block and the continue. So we'll try with any of the files. So it has been successfully completed. Let me just try to go there, and this file, let me just click on this PDF. See, earlier this option was not showing, but it starts showing continue because I have done this continue instead of the block. So if I click on this continue, this file will start getting downloading. So you guys can see that this file is start downloading now, and it is a little bit fast. So this is like difference between the file blocking and the file continue. Hope you guys understand. So next type, what we can understand, I just want to cover DOS protection by tomorrow, but let's understand data filtering.
Sir, can we? Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Can we stop the overall process of download? Means if we don't want to give any permission about download, then can we do that?
What can you repeat again?
For example, in a network, I don't want to give any access about download. Then what we can do in this case? So actually, yeah.
That simply we can block it.
Overall download process, not the particular file system.
Okay, overall downloading process,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, right, sir.
So for overall downloading process,
means no one can download nothing.
That's really good question. But what type of, like, you are talking about any type of file, right?
Yeah, right, sir.
So there is simple things, you have to deny everything.
Okay.
But that is not possible to overall just stop the download. You have to just categorize the things. See, in policy, you can see that we having a certain things, we can play with this policy. We can allow particular source to, communicate with particular destinations. Under that rule, we can categorize some URL can be open, cannot be open, some application can be open and cannot be open. Some file can be downloaded, cannot be downloaded. So you have to understand your requirement. I don't think like we can simply go and stop everything to be downloaded from the internet, because there is two things now we have to do that. Like if you are going to create the policy from the source to destination, then you have to allow each and everything. So whatever the legitimate traffic you are going to allow, that is going to be, that communication going to be happen. But that particular things like particular URL, particular file, particular data can be only blocked from the download or upload based on the that behavior from the what I showed right now. But I don't think what you are asking is feasible. But I'll check, and if I'll get something, I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Done, sir.
So sorry guys. The next thing, like data filtering. So that is again, it's an interesting thing. So let me just explain how can be data filtering can be happen. So here you can see that data filtering. So we don't have any predefined data filtering column here. So you can create some data filtering, like I can create lab data filtering. In description you can put anything, but you have to add some data pattern, but we don't have any data pattern, so we can't add here. Okay, so let me just cancel it. So before creating the profile for data filtering, you have to create some data pattern. So here is the data pattern. There is 3 types of data pattern if you're going to create. So just write data filter, and you can see that we having a 3 type of the like predefined pattern. We having a regular expression, file properties. So we can play with we can create the pattern for the all of the 3 types. So let's say suppose I just select the file property. So I'll just select the file property like name. I can put file properties. I can put a file type. What file type you want to just take action. So let me just text. Do you have anything? Okay, rich text format. Rich text format. What is not going to it? Okay, let me just put rich text formats. And file property type, that could be, let's say, subject, title, or keyword. So let me just put author, and let me just put author as a Pankaj. That is one thing. Let me just add another file. It is true. This could be again. Let me just keywords. No, this one. That this could be my keywords. Let's say what I put. Lab. So if anything lab, that can be actions. This is the file properties. Now click OK. So 2 properties I created. Let me just create another things. Data filter. So file properties. Let me just let me just create it. Another thing, that is the regular expression. So just let me put name as a regular expression, and here I'll just add name. Let's say suppose I any confidential data, confidential file type any, and data pattern could be my confidential, and that data pattern could be file type could be any, but we have to some define the regular expression, the data pattern, if it is going to match. So that is star asterisk dot, dot asterisk. I can just double close. I just put config then seal, close the brackets, then again I'll try to file contain having a small confidential and bigger confidential named in a file that should be not be allowed to send or upload somewhere. So here in regular expression, what I'm trying to say, if any file name, like let's just name confidential, any type of file, if the data pattern you are matching this confidential, you have to take any kind of action. So that action can be taken out. So let me just click OK. That is the second one. The third one thing, what I'm going to do that is predefined pattern. So predefined pattern, let's say suppose you are in India, okay, and let's say if you're having a permanent account number, you having some this is your PRN identification number, that is for the India only. Not this is South Korea, not for India. We should have some social security should be the American one, permanent account identification. See, so this is the Indian national. So if you're having a PAN card and based on that particular file, if your firewall is synced with the government organization, this permanent account identification, that particular based on the particular information, the action can be taken out. So here it is not going to help in our lab, but I'm just showing you for your demonstration purpose. You should know that predefined pattern, that is something is like managed by the central body, but that can be also synced with the Palo Alto Firewall. And if something is going through the phishing through that particular data, like you guys heard about the China block in each and everything to sending out the internal information to outside the world. So this type of they have utilized the great China firewall feature where they in the information like based on the other identity, based on the other credit card number, based on your like government ID number. You can see even the credit card number also it is showing that all transition, that all information can be blocked. So that can be done. So I just created all the files. Now I just go in the data filter again and I try to create one profile. So I'll just create lab data.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but sir, today the topics you have covered, is there any kind of theory we have, or there totally you can say a particular topic notes? Have you shared anything with us? If I'm
no,
if
actually, you are right. I didn't say any kind of theoretical part because these are the most of the things. If you go with the books, there's no much theory, but you have to understand the concept. There's
sir,
no
actually. No, actually, sir, if I want to see whether what is the means of URL filtering in just a normal short summary.
Okay.
Like,
you wanted to understand the what means URL filtering and data filtering and that the anti-spyware, that all right?
yes, sir.
Okay, let me just check here. So let me just check it for you. Configure. Do you have anything? I can tell you the concept, no worry for that, but I'm just trying to see if anything available in the book also for you. Okay, so here if you see that, so we having a theory about the URL filtering in this book itself.
Okay.
So if you want to learn, I can tell you a short summary, but if you want to learn, you can learn it. So here you can see the Palo Alto network URL to protect against the web-based threat by the giving you the way of the safety enable the web access while the controlling how your users interact with the online content.
Okay.
So in short summary, you should know URL filtering is nothing based on the different URL. You can either allow or block
Okay.
on the firewalls, right? Data filtering is
Okay.
nothing based on the data patterns. You should know what are the type of data pattern, 3 type of data pattern we have in. Like one I explained that is regular expression. Second one I explained about the predefined data, file
Predefined it.
properties. Yeah, so that basically can be, can be added. So here I just added all 3. Let me application, any file type, any interaction, both. I can define some threshold value. I can define some severity information, critical, or threshold, like could be the 1, could be the block. So just threshold for everyone. Okay, I'll click OK. And next, once I create this data filtering, let's just suppose in this case, what I'm trying to achieve, this is my FTP server, okay? And this FTP server, I have some files, or what I can say. Here is my some folder created in my local machine in C drive, and this is my data. Here I create some files, okay? And I'll try to upload those files to this FTP server. But whatever the file I just wanted to upload, that is my confidential file. So firewall, I want, if someone is trying to do some fishy thing, try to upload the file or try to download some file from that my confidential data, that could be recognized from my firewall based on the data content or file content, and that could be a block. So these things I want to do that. So till now, you guys understand what I have done. I created this data filtering profiles where I just match the different URLs, and in this different not URL, sorry, in different type of data, where this is my data pattern. So you can see that there is 3 data pattern I created. Regular expression, in this file property I created if any file properties in format of the rich text format and its author is Pankaj, could be take some action, that is block. I have going to take a default action. If keyword inside of the file is the lab, that could be the block. If regular expression, if the file contains any type of file contain the confidential information, that could be also blocked. This cannot be tested because this is not in our control. The 2 things I try to test it and that I finally going and match it in the data filtering profile here. And now I have this lab setup where from this PC, I'll just try to access this FTP server. So let me just go in this PC first and try to do FTP 172.16.10.11. So this is my username, Palo Alto, password is Pankaj12. So there is one file, you can see that text, there is username, password is also saved. So that FTP is working. I am able to access from this to this. Now, what I'll try to do, I'll create some file here. Okay. Let's say suppose rich text. This is document. So that is the file 1. Oh, this is the type of file. Rich text. Okay. And let me just create file 2. let's just create file 3. Okay, so 3 file I have created, but before going to do something, let me apply this policy. So here I will apply my PC is sitting in this trust zone and try to come to the LAN zone. So we should have some kind of policy, trust to LAN. So this is trust to LAN policy, on which I'm going to apply the data filtering policy what I have created. So I'll go in the XN and profile. And here is my data filtering profile. That is the lab data filtering. I'll just commit there. So let me commit it. After commit, let me meanwhile see what I have just mentioned here. Go in the data pattern. Data pattern, what I have written. Let me just copy it. These 2 words. So let me just copy it from here. Let me just go and why this is opening in this way. Okay, never mind. Let me try to put in this file also. Let me write confidential. That is one file having a confidential information. So that is the confidential. Let me check spelling is matching or not. CONFID and PIL. Okay, so one file having a confidential. I just put it there. White another file is saying. Another file should have the one is the author is Pankaj, another is should have the keyword as a lab. So let me just go and put keyword as a lab. Just save it and just put any information, anything, blah blah. I can write anything, but I'll try to make as author as a Pankaj. Let me see if I have something to. I'm not sure how can I change it. I'm not sure. Do we have anything to change it? Oh, not here. Let me just try to. Okay, leave it. Okay, just play with these 3 files first. So I just created 3 files. Let's see how many files I'm able to transfer and how many I'm not able to transfer. So let me just open this my FTP server. So here is my FTP server, and you can see on this only one file is available. That is a Pankaj text. But what I'll try to do, I'll try to put these all 3 files on this folders in FTP, and let's see how many is going to be transferred. So I'll just go there and I'll try to. So as you can see, all 3 files has been showing here transferred, but if I go where this, only 2 files has been received. One is blocked. Can anyone tell me which file it is blocked? Slab is not blocked. Somehow it is transferred, but any information is not blocked, but confidential information is not going to be transferred. You can see that. That confidential file, the file number 2, you can see the file number 1 is it not going to be transferred. If I am trying to put again, let me see. See, it is showing, but I am refreshing. It is getting blocked by the firewall. It is not transferring. So if I go again here, if I open, it is not coming here. But if I create another new file 4, you just see that. Let me create some file restricts. File 4. Just put anything, demo lab. Just put any word. You can put anything, and let me just try to see. This has been transferred successfully. So if I'll go there, the file 4 is available. See, lab demo. But whenever I'm trying to do with file 2, it is not going. File 2.
File 1, sir.
Oh, sorry, file 1. See, file 1, it is not going. It is blocking by itself with the firewall. So this is the beauty of the data pattern. So we should have to understand the exact like feature, regex command and all, then only that can be achieved. So I just try to play with the type of the confidential keywords inside of the file. Regular expression we have covered in this demo, but author can be also covered. One thing that cannot be covered, that is a predefined data pattern. So regular expression was successfully executed. Author, I have to change the author of the file. If the author is right now, it's showing the owner, but if some file having author as a your name is also not correct. That could be the one reason. So if author is like matching with your file, that could be the also blocked. And this is the way we can do that. So for that, to achieve this lab, you guys should know how to build the FTP server for this demonstration purpose. Then only you can do that. So in this lab, you can do that. You can play with this. You can create your own things. You can just try to do. Here, I've just given the username and password. Let me just write it. That is, what is the username and password of this server? Then I forget. Let me just, how to log this server. Control or delete. So always use Control or delete, log the server. So if you go and press again on a screen keyboard and just clear all, Control or delete. The administrator, that is user, and password is test123. So let me write here in the lab. Administrator is 1, 2, 3. Let me see if it is visible. Yeah, so you can see the guys. Administrator, spell is correct, right? Yeah, right. So whenever you guys want to log in this FTP server, you can log in it, and if you log in it, we'll probably find this kind of this. You have to use this virtual keyboard and you just enter 123, or if not able to. See, something is not wrong. My keyword is not taking correctly, so never mind. You just, if you don't want to access this server, you can go on this PC. And what I have just done, you can simply go and take the FTP and you just refresh it. You'll probably figure out the result. You just have to go there and type FTP colon and the slash 116.10.11. Probably will able to access this server, and you have to username is the Palo Alto and Pankaj12 is the password. Simply you can go and play with that. So that's all for today, guys. And I believe we covered how much topic we covered. Small topic. We covered a lot. So we covered about the data pattern, data filtering. We discussed about the spyware tomorrow and DOS protection tomorrow. Okay. So hope you guys understand.
Sir, can I ask you one thing?
Yeah,
Don't know my
please.
question is valid or not, but
No, you ask
for
please.
example, if I clicked, you can say confidential, how can I say that? If I have a confidential data and I click a picture of it, right? And if I send that data or send that picture through Word document, then it can detect it or not? Because
No,
most of the time, yeah,
that cannot. The word information, whatever that can
only
be,
word information.
yeah, word information. Then can be you have to play with the file type, and that any JPG. Let's suppose.
Because nowadays people, using only a snap method, not you can say writing method or something like that.
JP let me see if having JP. What format we having? JPG, right?
JPG, sir.
JPG.
JPG,
So this
PNG.
is, it is not showing here somewhere in data type. Let me see if it is showing in somewhere else. Let me see in file property. So that basically very smart way to do that. JPG PNG. Basically, I don't think that can be possible. Okay, but definitely, if there is something text in the PDF and Word and the Word files, or like what I can say, PDF, Word, and text file, that all can be blocked.
Okay, sir. It's a loophole, we can say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loophole because you can see that manual checking is very hard to capture. If you memorize the data in your mind, who can able to capture that?
Right, sir.
So you have taken a picture in a phone, and you are you have taken the screenshots, and if that file type can be blocked. So suppose there is an option. You can see this is a file type. Here we can do that. So if you go in the file type, and let's say suppose you create a PDF, right? Here is the file type, and if you want to add like PNG, see, upload, that can be blocked.
Yeah, it's a particular file type actually.
Yeah. So
then,
all
yeah.
PNG can be blocked.
Yeah, right, sir.
But inside PNG of the data, that is very hard to recognize.
Then if someone want to send that particular data to someone, then they can use that method.
Yeah, they can.
So it's a particular loophole. Then I can say.
Yeah. It can be. Say. So that's all for today, guys. We'll connect again tomorrow, and we'll continue this chapter again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care.
Good night, sir.
Good night.